Hey guys, it's Nick. Thanks for tuning in to Long on Wargaming, and this is going to be a break in our regularly scheduled content of the CrossRoads GT Battle Reports. And after a minor loss in the Game 3, where I walk away with 8 points, my opponent does 12. I did a little better than I realized. I went back and looked, so I shared with you guys that I lost pretty badly to the Empire play. But anyway, after Game 3 and a glorious burrito at the nearby Mexican restaurant with all sorts of meats and goodness inside, I find myself back in the gaming hall, faced up against a Chaos player. And this is Fernando. Fernando and his brothers, Cyrus and King, they go to a lot of GTs around here, and they're with the Warmongers. Really awesome guys. If you guys go to Unplugged or CrossRoads or any of the local Northeast GTs, try to meet up with these guys. They're really cool, really friendly, really easygoing, and they're here having a great time. So Fernando ends up being one of the 7 Warriors of Chaos players, and ends up doing fairly well. He goes ahead and takes 12th in the tournament, which is pretty awesome. And I'll be honest, I really like his list. I will be as brief as possible because I don't know too much. I don't have a copy of my list, and it was a hazy end of the night. But this is the kind of list I would like to run, minus the trolls, if I was playing Warriors of Chaos. He's got 2 units of 3 Juggernauts, 2 Chariots. He's got some heroes on discs and on Steed, a handful of Warriors with the level 4 caster. And then it looks like in front of the Chariot, those are some Marauder Horsemen. So he wanted to get some games in. He wanted to get a game in versus me to get some practice with Skaven, because everyone hates Skaven if you don't play them regularly. They're tough to cope with, especially at the GT level. And he wants to try out some things here, so we'll see how that goes. And gotta love the frenzy stuff. They're nasty, but you know what? If you can send them in the wrong direction, hell, it's funny to watch. But let's get on into this ETC comp game, and we'll see how it goes. So my Gracier gets Warp Lightning, Howling Warp Gale, Curse the Horn Rat, and Scorch, and then I've got Warp Lightning on my Engineer. Figure Warp Lightning twice will be good with all the little things flying about. Chariots, heroes. And his caster level 4 has Glittering Robe, Golden Hounds, Transmutation of Lead, and Final Transmutation. I'm not a big fan of metal, and it's probably because I don't understand it or know how to use it, but I was surprised to see it just because I'm just not used to playing against it. So that was already a curveball, which was, I guess, smart. If you bring a lore and you could make it work and confuse your opponent, a lore that's not usually used, you know, it's good. So I'll just touch on some deployment here. I was more impressed with the deployment in this game by myself here than the first 3 games, honestly. I don't know what it was, but, I mean, I got a nice little hell pit situation going on. They're not deploying the line because I am not facing any shooting, so I can save some time here. But pretty standard, but nice compact deployment. And then my opponent, we kind of already taken a look. And to the left, those gutter runners are down. Since he has no shooting, I might as well get them on the field and begin pelting away at the Chariot as soon as possible. So we got these guys moving up as Warriors of Chaos get turn 1. He takes a cautious move forward at me. He wants to stay out of range of hell pits and spells as much as possible. And besides that, I don't have too much offensive shooting. It's just magic. So he takes it cautious, which isn't a bad idea. And you get to see a nice paint job on these guys. So a little bit of a backed up here view. Blocking the frenzied units aren't a terrible idea, because those rat darts can move up so quickly, 12 inches, they can really mess up a frenzy unit's day. And we're going into magic. Looks like he gets off hounds successfully. I'm not sure on who, what, when, why, or where. But I do have to scroll Final Transmutation, because this is the only thing I don't have an answer for, because if I remember correctly, you don't get a ward save for this spell, so it just kind of eats away your guys. So we're going to Skaven turn 1. Hell pits move up together. They seem to be on the same page here, so they don't want to move away too far apart. The Rat Dart goes up full because I want to start doing something to those Juggernauts, because those guys are going to scare the crap out of me if they get to where they need to be. But other than that, I got hold back pretty defensively. So I got a solid Scorch off onto the Warriors. Drops about 4 guys, I believe. I'm really going for the Panic test here. However, he does pass. And Scorch was the only spell in range, so that's it really. So we move into Chaos turn 2. We got the Marauder Horsemen over to the right there, and these Juggernaut guys do go on into the rat rat dart, so they're going to have to overrun into the slaves, which I'm 100% okay with. Except that's not what happens, because this happens. Very interesting. Let me know what you guys think about this move. I mean, it will stop them from running into the slaves and getting hit by 2 hell pit abominations, but at the same time they will get charged by the hell pit and then overrun into the skull crushers, which will then have to be a combat in his turn, which will allow him to react and countercharge. I don't know, very sneaky here, so I'm not sure this was the best move, but it's something to kind of digest. So let me know what you guys think about the Marauders getting locked in there. Besides that, we've got some. It looks like we get back to my turn already. So my turn, Hell Pit Abominations going in right into those Marauder Horsemen. This way he can maybe just barely overrun into the Skull Crushers if possible. The Hell Pit guy runs past the Unkillable Lord because I thought I was going to be able to hit those trolls, which is really where I want to be, because fighting the 2 up board save guy or the 3 up board save rerollable is just an impossible task. So I end up rolling an inch or 2 short, and I do not hit them, so impact hits. To the left, I've got a rat dart, nicely placed, so that the frenzy guys are going to have to go ahead and go sideways. And if you notice, the engineer is out, so he can doom rocket the warrior unit. So nothing significant in magic, which means we go ahead and move on to the doom rocket, and I peel off about 7 guys, which is the best the Doom Rocket has done so far today, so it's not even a tournament game, but at least it lands. So I go ahead and kill the Marauder Horseman, which allows me to get a nice, simple clip in here. I'm not sure if the clip is allowed to bring me within an inch of my slaves or not. However, it's going to be just 1 Juggernaut, so the clip is good, which is awesome. But, I mean, this will go ahead into his turn, though. So Warriors turn 3, charges. We got some Skull Crushers on the Rat Dart. The Chariot does not charge. The Chariot has taken a wound or 2 by the Gutter Runners, FYI. And the Trolls and the Warriors go ahead into the Hell Pit. Not a bad move at all. And then the Unbreakable Lord goes ahead and tries to chaff the Storm Vermin. So I have a lot of combat res in my favor. But there's a good chance that he can do a bunch of wounds and stick there, but we'll see how that goes. And the Chariot does go ahead and make a charge into the guy to the right there, the right Hell Pit. So I've got 2 Hell Pits alive, which is pretty awesome. We do get a final transmutation off during magic successfully, so I do lose a handful of Storm Vermin, but it could have been a lot worse. Luckily, I only lose like 10, 12, 13, 14 guys. But he does lose 3 wizard levels, so he drops 3 spells. And all he has left is Transmutation of Lead, which is great. So he loses Robes, Hounds, and Final Trans. So that's the kind of miscast that really can cost you the game. So the Hell Pit does go down by the Trolls. It looks like they go ahead and slaughter him. They do have high initiative, the Warriors. The Trolls don't. But that well-placed hero in there must have had flaming attacks. I'm not sure, but the Hell Pit is down. The right Hell Pit does do excellent, and he will go ahead and kill, I believe, the Chariot. I go for that because there's less armor there than the Skull Crushers, and I think that's whatever happens, the Skull Crushers end up fleeing, and the Chariot either dies or flees. Oh, nope, it looks like he's fleeing on top of that hill there. The slaves go ahead, in my turn, go ahead and charge the fleeing Juggernaut, so they flee just that much more. The Hell Pit goes into the flank of the Trolls. The Warriors have reformed in his turn, and you can see the Skull Crushers to the left kill the Rat Dart, and now I'm going to chaff him up more with an Engineer and Slaves. So I got everything pretty much pinned down. The Storm Vermin do charge into that Killable Lord. So like I said, the slaves charge the Juggernauts, so they go just that much further, which is hysterical. And this happens in Magic. Curse of the Horn Rat. So, instead of me FAQing this before the battle report or even the day of the game, we just went with it, and this is what happened. It gets off, it targets the unit that has the cavalry hero guy on it, and I kill all the guys. But I figured you internet warriors and respectable people like Skaven and AZ could tell me, can you do this? Can you do the Dreaded 13th on a unit that has a model that's not infantry. I don't see why not, but I'm sure somewhere along the ways it might say otherwise. But this is how this game planned out. I kill all of them except these guys, which I think in ETC are eligible to a lookout sir, and they pass. But I do get a small unit of clan rats behind them because the unit is eliminated, I think. The unit being the troopers. Or is the unit the troopers and the heroes? I don't know. So anyway, we put down the 8 clan rats. It's not like they're going to change the game. They're just shitty old clan rats. But if I had to guess, I would say the clan rats would die because the unit, quote unquote, is still there because the heroes are there. But anyway, I think this comes with a miscast as per this picture. And not only does it come with a miscast, it comes with a broken BSB. Some point the trolls must have reformed to face the Hellpit Abomination. And this combat. Oh, you can see the engineer popped, well, yeah, that engineer popped out so that he can get in the way of, I guess, a charging warrior unit, or what's left now just the heroes. So, I don't know. I'm just very surprised for game 4 of this day. I actually played so efficiently with my chaff and my maneuvering. But anyway, I charge, I have 3 ranks, I have a banner, so I'm already up by 5 here in this combat. I use one of my heroes to challenge, I have a ward save, he can't do too much damage, and he will end up breaking because he is not stubborn, so he does not roll high enough, and I chase him down into the troll combat, which allows me to double down here and do fairly well, and I think I end up killing all the trolls in this turn. Or maybe that goes on into his next turn. I might do the help at first. But anyway, Warrior's turn 4. He does make a charge onto my bunker with his demonic mount guy. I gamble here and flee. I got my BSB and Grace here and there. If I can rally them next turn on leadership 7 with a reroll, that would be nice. But you can see I'm just an inch and a half away from running off the board. But you know what? If he made that charge, he would have crushed the unit anyway. So this was the risk I think I had to take here. Looks like in Magic I end up getting leaded, but that's because the caster is just sitting there and that's the only spell he has left. Surprisingly, I guess he got through because he's only wizard level 1. But anyway, I will now reveal the last photo I have of this game because I believe I end up killing the trolls and then I never end up reforming, but you can see all Fernando has left from left to right. We've got the chariot and skull crushers, which are still friggin' scary, but the skull crushers had to turn around and I still have another turn to chaff them. I would have to rally my bunker, but at the end of the day, I think I still have enough tools to win this game. Skull Crushers could come back, but they'd be fighting slaves. The Skull Crushers up at the top. But again, this was just a practice game, so Fernando can get a feel of what to do against, you know, a Skaven list of this caliber. What that caliber is, I don't know. I'm not saying I made a wonderful list here, but nonetheless, I've seen these guys, I think, two times, and we've chatted a lot, so it was good to be able to get a game in. I'm sorry that it's not a full concluded game, but you can kind of tell from here what was going to go on. I've got some clan rats that can go chaff up some more skull crushers, some slaves could go get in the way and shit like that. So, but I still have 2 Bonebreaker heroes running around and a Hellpit, which could go kill that chariot up on the hill. So it was pretty solid that I was going to get the win here, and Fernando was feeling it, so that's why we let it go. And I think at this point, also it was like I think 1 a.m. and that's when they started shutting down the gaming room, so that might have been another factor why we didn't finish up. But hey, these guys are pretty local to me. They're in Queens. I'm in the middle of Long Island, so maybe at one point we'll try to meet up and play. But hey, Fernando, thanks for the game, and I'll see you guys in the next video.